25 laps complete in the UAW-DaimlerChrysler 400 presented by Dodge. Jimmy Spencer 1.7 seconds up on rookie Ryan Newman. Kurt Busch, Todd Bodine, Tony Stewart, the top 5. Now in 15 to 20 laps, most of these cars will have to pit, but 11 of them may not have to pit under green quite so soon.
Well, again, they were on pit road around lap 10 or lap 11. Now, in the perfect world, what those guys want to see is they want to see everybody that didn't pit back then have to cycle through their green flag stops, and then the man throw a caution, and they'd have a lot of those cars a lap down.
Ooh, that would be in a perfect, well, that'd be in somebody's perfect world.
11 cars, perfect world.
Right. And not these fellows like Ryan Newman and Kurt Busch from Las Vegas. Tony Stewart moving in on Todd Bodine for 4th place. Bodine, our pole sitter.
Tony's sticking to his strategy. He is not moving off of that white line.
Well,
he's actually below the white line.
I tell you, if your car will hook up on that white line, believe it or not, there is grip there. The tires really they almost like they stick into glue when they get down on that white line.
It's a little transition difference, but this track only has 12 degrees of banking, and Darrell, 12 degrees is flat.
Flat, yeah. It doesn't feel like it's got any bank. Matter of fact, it usually feels like it's banked the wrong way.
See Tony Stewart's interval there on the Fox tracks, just a little over 6 seconds behind leader Jimmy Spencer.
A couple of guys right behind them having good runs too. Robbie Gordon back here. Mark Martin not too far back. These guys right here are, you know, Robbie Gordon has had some pretty good runs in that 31 car so far.
And Mark Martin, who we're riding with, you know, the first couple of years of this track, he kind of owned it like Elvis owned this town.
I thought Wayne Newton owned this town.
Well, he does now.
Oh.
Elvis has left.
Took a minute for that to register. Elvis has left. I get you.
Whoa, Rusty, who is carrying Elvis on the side of his car, and Elvis almost got a haircut from Jeremy Mayfield and Kenny Schrader.
Well, they were 3 wide down the backstretch. We have 2 grooves, but 3 wide getting into turn 3, that's a little crowded.
It's not a pretty sight. Remember last year what happened here? I think when Jeremy or Brett going into turn 1 and spun and came down across the track and hit Rusty in the side. I think it happened right in the opening laps of the race. They're former teammates, and I don't know that they're the best of friends either.
Mayfield moves on, and Jeff Burton pulls up on the back bumper of Rusty's number 2. This is at 23rd position.
Now remember, Jeff Burton in the 99, he's one of the cars that pitted on lap 10. Rusty Wallace did not pit.
10 laps or so to pit stops if we stay green. 25th place, Dale Jr. right behind Burton.
Lay out that throttle, and ease down into it, and then squeeze out next to that wall. Yeah.
Jimmy Spencer, 2-time national modified champion of NASCAR, is our leader at 51 laps by 1.3 seconds. Ryan Newman is closing in. Jimmy Spencer still leading in Las Vegas. Coming March 12th, the cop thriller everyone's talking about and the critics are calling best new drama. The controversial new series, The Shield. Michael Chiklis and CCH Pounder on FX. Coming March 12th. Coming to pit road.
And he was too. Had that baby sideways. Slideways.
Jimmy Johnson. Jeff Green has made a pit stop under the green flag here.
And Jimmy Johnson's definitely one of our first of our leaders to come to pit road. He was running 9th. Ginny Zalasko.
Running 9th. He actually started 25th, so they are static in this pit. And actually, as I talked to Jimmy earlier this morning, he said this car is great, and that is what he continues to say. They really didn't want to do anything when they came in here except take some fuel and get the 4 tires. They were trying to decide on maybe an air pressure adjustment. That's what they'll go for because, again, Jimmy said when this car is alone and we're on a long run, it is running great, so don't mess with a good thing, and they're off.
All right, Terry Labonte's also made a pit stop. Darrell, we talked at the top of the show about how critical it is to get onto pit road very carefully here.
Well, these guys had a little practice in their happy hour, unlike yesterday. Watch this, but here's what you fight. It's sandy, it's dirty, it's what you call sliding it in there. He didn't just slide it in the box, he slid it on the pit road.
And unlike a lot of racetracks where you're on the straightaway just a little bit before you come to pit road, you're dead in the middle of turn 4.
There's a transition there, a little bit off the racetrack, down onto that flat. It's sandy, it's dirty, and if you're carrying too much speed, you're going to end up out in the grass. And I bet you, before we cycle through all these stops, somebody will be in the grass.
Here's our pole sitter, Todd Bodine. On pit road, he was a top 5 car, and now comes down to the Travis Carter crew. Checker Auto Parts just jumped on board that car this weekend after Todd won the pole with that unsponsored car. Dick?
Well, a crew that's going to go over the wall doesn't have any logos at all on their uniform, just the manufacturer, Simpson. That's it, because this sponsor is a one-race sponsor. They are, in essence, auditioning for their jobs from here to the rest of the season, to the conclusion of year 2002. They've got to have a sponsor. Travis Carter, the owner of this team, said without it, they probably won't even be in Atlanta next weekend.
Jerry Nadeau in the 25 comes to pit road. He was running in the 9th position along with Ward Burton and Johnny Benson.
Casey Atwood in as well. These are green flag pit stops, and these are scheduled. And Kevin Harvick's in as well. Here's you're riding with Benson down pit road.
Stewart missed pit road. He didn't want to get in the grass.
And that was the best thing to do. If you're not going to make it, you need to get on and make another lap. It's Michael Waltrip in the 15 car. Got some problems there. A lot of smoke coming out of that car.
Boy, is that going to get that dreaded caution that we were all wondering about? He's down off the racetrack, so I think it's okay. Caution's out.
Ha! Come on, the leader. Well, Burnett, he's up here 4.
Here comes our leader to the line. Here comes the leader to the line, and
he's unchallenged. No one trying to get back on the lead lap.
I don't think anybody was really in position to try.
Shauna Robinson was about 800 feet back.
Now, did the 20 car lose a lap and all that, or did he stay out long enough?
He stayed out quite long enough. I mean, he was just a little bit behind the leader.
A bad break for Tony Stewart, missing the entrance to pit road. Turns out to be a good break, because if he'd made that pit stop and then the caution comes out, he might have been caught a lap down.
He's singing, I feel lucky. Oh, yeah.
Now, that's drawing to an inside straight.
I want to take him to the casino with me tonight.
It's living right.
There is the tire off Michael Waltrip's car that caused all that smoke and brought out this caution. Pace car has the field in tow, and now everyone who did not pit will pit.
But bad break for Michael Waltrip, but a bad break for 2 of the Hendrick cars that was running in the top 10. Jerry Nadeau in the 25, Jimmy Johnson in the 48. They will be a lap down, but they'll stay out this time, so they'll start in front of all the leaders that's on pit road right now.
Todd Bodine as well. He got caught up in that by coming down pit road, and I'm sure he had to come early. I'm down to you, Steve. What's happening?
AEW Sterling Marlin comes to the attention of his crew. They're going to drop the air pressure in both front tires and raise the track bar 1 round. Right side tires going on for Sterling. Greg Pozzi is the jackman today on the 40 car, replacing Rick Reeling. Left side tires are off. Let's go to Dick Berggren.
23-year-old Kurt Busch is in for his pit stop. No major chassis changes. The car is just a little bit loose going in. He grabs a bottle of water. To that.
Leader Jimmy Spencer trying to end a long winless drought of now 240 starts since his last victory at Talladega. He said the car was a little bit tight, so they adjusted. They have trouble on the left rear. He's finally down and away, a lengthy stop. They adjusted with air pressure. Meanwhile, the 12th car of Ryan Newman, no adjustments. He was very happy with his car.
Spencer was too far to the left in his pit box. I think he had his crew pinned up against the wall over there. It looked to me like from the angle we were shooting there. Looked like he got over to the left a little too far and they're having trouble on the left side.
Long stop for Jeremy Mayfield. The first car off pit road, Kurt Busch.
But boy, the 5th car off pit road, a guy that was on pit road earlier, and he made up a lot of ground on the racetrack, and his guys did their job again. Jeff Gordon in that 24 car.
That's the thing about him. He passes a few of them on the track. They pass a whole lot of them in the pit.
Cars a lap down will pit this time by as they clean up the tire debris from Michael Waltrip.